Houston, we have a problem. We woke up this morning and I was sitting in here drinking my coffee and I realized we have a big leak up in the attic. I don't know if you can see that or see how bad it is. That is full of water. Why do these things always happen when my husband's at work? I literally just want to cry. I am not good with change. I'm not good with people coming in my house. I am not good with figuring out house stuff. But I'm gonna do my best. I have contacted the guy that remodeled our bathroom last year to see if he can come help, because I know for a fact that we will have to replace that sheetrock at least up there. And hopefully he can tell if the roof leaked last night from the rain. Hopefully not, because our roof is only a couple of years old. Or if possibly the air conditioner pan is not draining properly again up there and maybe it's leaking. Regardless, my husband wants me to get a bucket and he wants me to pop this bubble and let it drain so we can hopefully prevent mold from growing up there. So this is not a journey I wanted to be on today. We actually had other plans. We were supposed to go hang out with some friends today, but I've had to cancel that. And I guess if I have to be on this journey, you might as well come along with me. Let's see what we can get and what we can set up to pop this bubble, whatever this thing is. I want to call it a growth on my ceiling. How terrible. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is move all of the grandkids' toys over here. Alright, let me find something to poke this thing with. Do I look excited? Because I'm really not. Okay, I have borrowed Jackson's trash can from his room, and I found a paint stick and I taped on a screw. Hopefully this will work. Hopefully I can catch all of the water in here. Sorry I'm talking quietly, guys. Jackson is kind of upset over the whole situation and I'm trying not to upset him further. I currently have him in the shower, so he does not even know I'm using his trash can. So let's get this done. Hopefully it all goes in here because I just got out of the shower and got dressed too. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. I'm gonna try it at the lowest point, and I know it's full of water because I poked on it with the mop. It worked. It's working, guys. Hopefully there's not more water than that trash can holds. That is pretty full. It stinks like the attic too. It smells bad. It's draining well. It smells really bad. It smells awful. It smells like the attic. Last week, the air conditioner up in the attic wasn't draining and it started dripping out of one of our vents. My husband bought some tools and took his shop vac and a small air compressor and he went up there and he completely cleaned out the drain and it was draining well. So we don't think it's that. We don't think it's the air conditioner, but we also don't think it's the roof, but it's got to be one or the other. So there's only one way to find out. Hopefully I can get a hold of somebody soon and they can come at least to make sure that it's not currently leaking, make sure that it's not going to accumulate more water. It's going to be way too hot just to turn the air conditioner off. But if I can get it to drain and stay dry, then at least the chance of mold growing will be less. I am going to turn on the air conditioner, just the fan part, up in the attic, so maybe it'll circulate some air around up there. Anyway, it looks like, or sounds like, maybe it's about done dripping. So maybe there wasn't as much water as it looked like. Let's go get a closer look. Okay, it stopped dripping. Maybe I'll poke around on it a little bit more and see. The bucket has probably about 3 or 4 inches of water in it. Let's get this little poker and poke on it a little bit more. Sorry if I'm making y'all dizzy. Sorry if the light is in your eyes. If you haven't noticed, my house is really dark. I do have a small ring light, but it really hurts my eyes to use it. So I'm going to try to add a couple of lamps or something to see if we can brighten it up in here a little bit. Can y'all see that? It seems to be empty. Seems to be just air. Oops, I made another hole over there. So hopefully it doesn't spread any further. On the other side of this wall is my kitchen, and I can see that it's wet right here. And it looks like it stays wet all the way out to here. Even this looks wet. So we will have to cut this big piece of sheetrock out after everything is completely dry, and then replace that and paint it. Here comes some more drips, so that makes me wonder if it is currently still leaking something up there. I'll leave the bucket under it. Our attic is completely full of insulation, so every time we have to have a piece of our ceiling cut out, like when they remodeled our bathroom, they replaced the entire ceiling. It gets not sheetrock, it gets insulation everywhere. So I guess we're gonna have to be dealing with house repairs just for a little while. I got a hold of someone that's gonna come look at the air conditioner this afternoon. So I think we're gonna get on with the rest of our day and get some other stuff done now. I just made me a bowl of oatmeal, so I'm gonna eat that for breakfast. And then Jackson and I are gonna go get some homeschool done, and then we will see where the rest of the day takes us. I think crisis is averted for right now. Now it's just fixing whatever is leaking and onto the repair portion. Pixie. Am I the only person that cleans before anyone comes over? Even when the house is already clean? I don't know, it just freaks me out to have repairmen and people in my house, so decided to vacuum anyway. Now I have to clean out that closet where the hot water heater is. We keep Pixie's litter box in there, but that's also where our attic access is. So I need to clean that out and get ready for them to climb up in the attic and look around. And my granddaughter's calling, so let me talk to her for a little bit. Okay, my granddaughter wanted to show me that she is baking, so that was fun. It was nice to talk to her for a minute. And then I got the trash taken out, and our sweet friends that we were supposed to go visit today have decided that they'll come over here and bring lunch to us. So that's so sweet of them, and that'll keep our mind off of repairs and all of that stressful stuff. So the ceiling had stopped leaking for a long time, but now it's leaking again. So I don't know what it is. The air conditioner is not on and it's not raining, so whatever. There must still be standing water up there somewhere. Um, anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm not going to film when we have company. I don't think that they would want to be on camera. I mean, if they do, I'll film, but I don't think they'll want to be on camera. But we're going to have a good time. It's a friend of mine and her daughter, who is also Jackson's best friend. And unfortunately, they're moving soon, so we're trying to spend as much time with them as we can. We've been friends since Jackson and her little girl were less than a year old. So I will maybe be back later, or I may just continue this video tomorrow. I guess you'll just have to see. One more thing, when I showed you my Goodwill haul the other day, I didn't show you that I bought a couple of shirts because they were in the washer. I actually bought this shirt, so I'm happy that it fits, and I like that it's flowy and comfortable and lightweight. So like I said then, I love thrift shopping. I could go to a store and I could buy a new shirt if I wanted to, but I love thrift shopping, and I like buying my clothes secondhand anytime I can. I buy a lot of Jackson's clothes secondhand too. So that's just how we are. And that's just something we enjoy doing, is thrifting and saving a little bit of money here and there. And while we're on the subject of thrifting or saving money, or maybe not having all the money in the world, can we normalize living in houses that don't look like they came out of a magazine? You guys have seen my house. It's a great house. I love this house. We don't owe very much money on it. I hope to pay it off soon. We will either use it as a rent house and move somewhere else, or we will just keep it, or we'll just stay in it, because I want Jackson to have this house when he's an adult. I don't know, how his future will look. My husband and I are older, obviously, now that we have Jackson, so we may or may not be in the position to help him as much as an adult. My goal in life is to leave him this house and a decent vehicle, so that when we do pass, or when we do become of the age that we can't work or don't have the extra finances, right now we help our adult kids here and there. If they need new tires and don't have the money for it, we try to help out. If they need something like that, some big unexpected event that we all had when we started out as adults and still have to this day. What if they had a repair that needed done or something? My older son's dog was just in the animal hospital for over a week because he was attacked by some other dogs. That was a huge vet bill. So my point being is, when Jackson is this age and just getting started as an adult, we don't know, will he be able to work a 40-hour-a-week job? Will he be able to be in society to that capacity? We don't know. And even if he is, whatever way or shape he can become successful, if we're not able to financially help out as much at that time, I will have peace knowing that he has a home that's paid for and a vehicle that runs well and is paid for. So can we just normalize living somewhere? My house isn't fancy, but it's a good house. It's dark. It's not super lit up. The cabinets and things aren't super modern, but it serves its purpose, and it's home. I love it here. I don't even really want to move. I love my house, even though it's not picture perfect. It's home, and it has been for years, and hopefully it will be, for years to come. So on that note, I will see you whenever I pick up the camera again. Okay, final update of the day. The air conditioner repairman was here for probably 4 hours. He had a lot of trouble figuring out what was going on up there. He finally decided it was a combination of a lot of extra condensation because of all the rain and humidity we've had and the steamy weather, but also water that was still left over up there from last week when my husband had fixed the drain pan that wasn't draining properly. So it is still draining properly now. It is fixed, but there was a lot of standing water up there. He has had me make the hole even bigger. He did go ahead and replace every fitting up there to the drain pipe, just in case any of them were leaking ever so slightly and he couldn't see it. I am now to leave this draining, he said, for 2 weeks at least before we have this whole section of our ceiling cut out. He wants this whole section of the ceiling cut out, and we will have to replace all the insulation in there and all of the sheetrock and clean really well up there because he said it is just absolutely soaking. He said he can pick up insulation and wring it out like a towel. So I am just to be patient. He said this whole entire piece of the ceiling may fall in. And if it does, he said just try to put a tarp up there just to make 100% sure that it does completely dry out and that we don't still have any leaks anywhere at all up there or any condensation coming down. And he did go ahead and install a backup switch. So if the condensation pan ever stops draining again and it gets filled up to the top, it will just shut our whole entire unit off so we won't have water damage again. Fingers crossed this resolves it. I hope and pray that my ceiling doesn't fall in, and just, you know, that within a couple of weeks it dries up and we can get busy cleaning everything out and putting in a new ceiling. So what a mess, what a stress. I'm absolutely exhausted. I do have to vacuum again because there's insulation all over my carpet and I don't want the cat and the dog or Jackson to walk through it, or me tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum again. Our friends did come over and hang out for a while. It was a great way to take our mind off of everything going on. I really enjoyed hanging out with them. Jackson and his friend had a blast. They did a few little pop kind of fireworks we had here. They played a board game and they just kind of hung out together. So that is it. I'll probably wrap up this video here. It may not be very long, but this will be day one in the drama of my ceiling bubble, ceiling growth, ceiling crater, whatever you want to call it. Day one of the leak in the attic, and just move forward from here. And I am ever so thankful that my husband is a hard worker and that we did have money to cover the repair, because I know this could happen to some people or happen to us at some points in our life that we wouldn't have had that money. So I am thankful for that, and thankful as always that God is with us and always providing. So I guess I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.